Okay, hi everyone. This is how to access Mendix, which is our user portal to request agreements with us and to access the calendar for all of our instruments. So if you go to our website, which is aif.ncsu.edu, you would go ahead and click our current operating status and instructions, as that can change. And once you do that, you can access all the instructions. So if you would like to become an independent user, you can follow the instructions, and I'll touch on that in just a moment. The submission of samples can initiate this process. So first of all, you have to ensure that you have a valid user agreement. You can also look for help on how to do that on this page, but I'll also go over that in a separate video. You can also submit sample details, which has an internal form and an external form. So essentially, you have to put in all of your information, make sure that you have a valid agreement, and then put in your sample description here. And if you're an external user, it's the same. You just don't have to put in a department. You don't have to put in department information or PI information. So once you submit that, you can provide samples, and there are two different ways to do that. You can drop them off in MRC 246, which is right near the vending machines on the south side. There's a drop-off table where you can put your samples. You need to make sure that these things are listed. If you prefer to mail your samples, you can use this address here. You just need to make sure that the attention has the lab manager's name. If you don't know what lab manager you need to list, you can put Roberto Garcia. In order to pick up your samples, you can also come near 246. We have a pickup table. You need to pick up your samples if you indicate that you would like to do so on the form, which is at the bottom of this form. Let's see, do you want your samples returned? You would select yes if you want them and no if you don't want them. If you would like for us to mail your samples back to you, just send a request to the lab manager and we can take care of that for you. If you do have any questions about this process, you can email them to me, and my email is listed here. If you would like to become an independent user, you can go here and click this website, and it will show you if you're an NC State user or an external user, how you can access our facility independently. The first thing that you would need to go log into is the labs.ncsu.edu. I will go ahead and show you what the NC State user side looks like, and then external users can access it from the instructions below. So my screen is going to look a little differently since I'm an admin, but I also have access to show you what it looks like from a user side. So first of all, you would have to go to My Account, which your page will automatically go to. To request an agreement, if you don't already have one, you can scroll down to Request New Agreement. You would have to select our facility, put in any comments to the PI, such as this is for this project, I need X amount of funds, etc. You would type in your PI's name. You can just do the first few letters of their first name and the first few letters of their last name. You do not need to put in the project ID. So you would select the PIs, and then you would send an agreement request. Once that agreement has been approved by your PI, you will receive a notification to let you know that it has been approved. And then you can then submit your sample submission form here and indicate the agreement number that was created. To view your agreement number, you can go to your available agreements, and this is the number that you would put into the sample submission form. Just a quick note that you will need to submit an agreement request with each facility. We are our own independently operating facility. If you need an agreement with NNF, for example, or Metric, you would request an agreement with that facility, and you can select those here. Okay, so if you go back to the instructions, once your agreement is approved, you will have the option to go ahead and create the AIF safety training, and that has to be completed before you do any kind of training facility independently. So you would go to reporter.ncsu.edu, log in with your Unity ID, and then search in the catalog for AIF. You would select that, and it's an online course, so you can take it at any time. You have to access all of the material and make at least a 90 on the quiz in order for you to pass it. It can take up to 2 hours for the completion to take effect in Mendix. So you can check immediately or after a couple of hours to make sure your training has been marked as completed. If you would like to do XRD or CT training, you do have to have an extra training completed. You will go to the EH&S website and follow the instructions there to complete the radiation training. If you don't have any instances available on the website, you can contact Brian Garner to request a training session. If you complete that for XRD training, you can email Jenny Forrester at this email address, and you can also email for CT training Roxana Baby at this email address. You would then send them the PDF to let them know that you have passed the radiation training. After that, you would need to request individual instrument training via Mendix. I'll go ahead and show you how to do that so that you can see how that's done. You would go back to My Account, click the arrow for training, and then the Request Training button. So you can type in whatever instrument you'd like training on, whether that's the FIB, the Talos, and you can search for that here in the search bar. You can either don't show completed or show completed. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about these icons listed here. They're also listed here as an icon key indication so that you know what they mean. So this indicates that the AIF safety training, the FIB instrument training, and the PFIB instrument training are required to access this instrument. If you have a training complete check mark, that will show up here, and it will also show you if it's an online course. So if you'd like to request specific instrument training, you would click the Request button, and you can see that this lab manager has already set up dates and times where you can enroll in a specific training block. If that's not listed, you can request the training a different way. So you would go to this training, for example, and you can type in the days and times that you're typically available for training. So let's say 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Mondays. You can click Submit Training Request. So your lab manager for the lab that you would like to have training for will get an email, and they will get in touch with you to schedule the training via email. So in order to access the training blocks that have already been created by the lab manager, again, you would click Request, you would click Enroll in Training Block, and you have to select the agreement that you would like to charge. So you would do that. Any comments related to billing you would need to put here, and it will show you for the FIB instrument training, this is the total. For staff operation, that is the total, and then your estimated total. You do have to agree to the terms and conditions, and if you'd like to read those, you can click on this link here. That will finalize your order. So if you'd like to verify your orders, you can go back to your home page, click the arrow, and it will show you all your current orders that you have. If you need to cancel your order for any reason, you can do so by highlighting it and canceling your order. Your page will not show this. This is because I'm an admin. You would just click cancel and then cancel again so that will disappear from your orders. If you would like to view your order details, you can highlight it, click View Order Details, and see the breakdown here. If you would like to add it to your Google Calendar, you can double-click your order, click Add to Google Calendar, and then it will pop up on your NC State calendar. So it will tell you what the address is and that it's scheduled for FIB instrument training. It will let you know that if you cancel the order in Mendix, it will not reflect that on your calendar, so that's a reminder to you to go ahead and take that off of your Google Calendar if needed. And you can also cancel your order from this page. Short courses, we do offer short courses here at the AIF, so I'd like to review what that would look like. If you'd like to review that, we will post those on our website and also include them in our newsletter. So if you'd ever like to see what short courses are available, you can look at our website, go to News and Events, and then you would click Events Calendar, and that will show you anything that we have coming up. In order to request a short course, you can again go down to the training, request training, and then type in the FIB, for example. This shows you that I am already enrolled and that it is open for enrollment, so yours would not state at the beginning that you are enrolled. So you would click Request. If you do not like this training block that is available, you can give your general availability, and that will send a note to the lab manager to let them know you would not like to enroll in this training block, but you are interested in this short course. The difference between a short course and training is that a short course is just general information about the instrument and how to operate it, and for internal users, it's $50 for the entire short course, and it's $350 for the external user. So you would click Enroll in Training block if that would work for you. Again, select your agreement, and it will show you that it is the $50. So you have to agree to the terms and conditions again, and then finalize your order. So if you'd like to view that, again, you go to your orders and you can see that you're signed up for the short course, and it is on it's on September 17th. So if you have any questions about the short course information, what you may need to bring, you can contact the lab manager directly. If you ever need to get that information, you can go back to our website, hover over AIF, and then go to our team. And everyone is listed on this website. I would like to review how to request changes to your existing agreement. You can scroll down to your agreements right here. It will show you all the available agreements that you have. If you have any expired agreements, you can also view those here for any historical purposes that you may need. But this is going to just elaborate on your available agreements and how to request changes on these. So this agreement expires on 9/4/21. If you know that you're going to need access beyond that end date to this specific agreement, you can highlight this and then request agreement change. So you can put a comment into your PI, and it can say, I need the end date to be extended to this date. And if you have a small amount of funds left and the lab manager has let you know that you need to add some, you can also request to your PI to add those. That will send an email to your PI to let them know that you would like an agreement, either extension and or adding funds. And once they do so, you will get an email to let you know so that you can communicate that to the lab manager. Once you do have access to independently access one of our labs, you'll be able to go here to schedule time or request a service. So again, you would have to select AIF and not any of the other facilities. You would scroll down to whatever piece of equipment you have independent access to. So for an example, I'm just going to show you what it looks like for the Rigaku. These icons again will tell you what you have for the specific piece of instrument. So I have, for example, availability to schedule for these specific instruments. If you do not have that listed and it shows you the lock icon, that means that you do not have independent access and you'll need to email the lab manager. So you would select in this example what stage you would like to use for this XRD Rigaku. You would go over here and you would hit schedule time. And you can find a time that works for your schedule. So you would select 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. as an example. You do not have to add staff time or postdoc time if you are operating it independently. If you would like to request that a staff member or a postdoc member be present, do not select this and email them directly to let them know that you would like for them to be present and to see if they have availability. Once you do that, you can click Continue, highlight the agreement that you would like to charge. If you have any instructions regarding billing, you can enter those here. The lab manager and myself would see those when we are completing billing. And again, you can agree to the terms and conditions. Once you finalize the order, it will again show up on your orders page under My Account. So you can see that you have scheduled this for 8/24. If you forget, again, what the start and end time is because it does not list it on this page, you can double click it, add it to your Google Calendar, and confirm the start and end time here. Once you complete your appointment, you would need to go back to your account and you would need to select checkout. So this will ensure to the lab manager that you checked out either on time, that you checked out before your appointment ended, or that you checked out after your appointment ended. If you did forget to check out, if you forgot to check out whenever you left the lab, you would need to go to your orders page from your account. You would highlight whichever one you need to correct and click View Order Details. Here you can add a comment and say that you checked out at 12:30. That way the lab manager knows when you actually checked out so that we can charge you appropriately. The comment section will show up here and not in your details page, and that allows you to add multiple comments if you need to. The lab manager will see this when he or she does billing, so they will be able to adjust your time as needed. Again, if you have any questions about this process, you can contact me at this number or this email address, and any other questions, technical or otherwise, to Roberto Garcia or our main email address, which is aif-contact@ncsu.edu. There are also a couple of videos, a few extra videos for PIs if needed, that will show you how to access or how to create agreements from request and how to edit existing agreements. Thank you very much for your time.